ladies and gentlemen, take a seat, please. Thank you. I'm going to show you guys how...
On today's show, we meet a couple of teachers that are taking their class to new heights. Let's just say they aren't afraid of 20,000 feet.
The summit of Mount Aconcagua.
Up next, a story behind a most unusual outdoor festival. We find out what's behind nature's music and its creators.
It's time to head to the wild.
And if you spend some time in the great outdoors, coming up are some tips you'll want to remember from the folks at HCMC.
There he is, got him.
And our Minnesota Bound Classic this week tags along with Laura Shera as she heads out on a long quest to catch a muskie. Those stories and more, next.
Minnesota Bound. Brought to you by Minnesota's select GMC dealers.
Hi, everybody. Raven and I welcome you to the show. Our first story is about teachers. We all have had teachers who we might remember urged us to reach for the sky, so to speak. Well, in this story, we have a couple of teachers who did almost that. Travis Frank has the story. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, take a seat, please. Thank you.
Geography class doesn't usually get the adrenaline pumping.
What else are we worried about?
That was until two teachers at Waconia Middle School changed their lesson plan.
Hey guys, this is Gilbert here on the summit of Mount Aconcagua.
And the places they taught it.
It's a big mountain. So again, we're over 22,000 feet. I'll just kind of do a panoramic here of where we're sitting here and give you guys a glimpse of what I'm looking at. The summit of Mount Aconcagua. The summit, the highest point in the Western Hemisphere.
Explore, motivate, educate. And that's kind of the name of the game.
The 8th graders call them Gilbert and Hong Kong. These two adventure junkies found a way to bring new energy and life lessons into their classroom.
We started just hiking around Minnesota, actually. Our goal was to hike around all the Minnesota state parks. So we went around and hiked every single one of them in 1 year.
We found that our little stories and pictures of our adventures each weekend, the kids were just like, oh, that's cool. Where are you going next? And all of a sudden we're like, whoa, why don't we try this kind of adventure education?
So they raised the bar.
We set our sights for Mount Rainier in Washington.
We gotta get back down. We are very cold. Give you a quick view from the top. We'll see everybody back home in Waconia.
And then we went, decided to take it a notch bigger and go to South America and climb Aconcagua. And eventually that led to Mount Elbrus. And then last spring we went to Pico de Orizaba, a large peak in Mexico, the biggest volcano in North America.
By power of satellites and the internet, their class follows along each icy step.
We can contact our students and send it out to them and teach them lessons as we go.
We bring a laptop computer and then we rent a satellite out of Florida called a Beacon satellite. It's pretty high tech.
Students see the beauty.
Here we are, made it to the top, Pico de Orizaba.
And the pain that goes with it.
It snows inside the tent. So cold I can't even stand it.
Go for the Summit is a website that we created. We communicate with our students through that website and talk about lessons and about the geology and geography of the mountains.
It's fun to live life and do adventure, but it's also fun to put purpose within your own adventure.
Back in the classroom, kids learn what it takes to make it to the top.
I'm going to show you guys how we tackle a mountain. We're climbers. What's the number one thing we have to worry about? Falling! Exactly! I got to worry about falling and what else? Oh, Chamberine. The weather. Do you see all these clothes?
To get them excited about learning, you know what I mean? It's getting them fired up. They want to learn something new.
You know Mr. Oncamp's voice? Always wear your gloves.
He learned this the hard way.
You're gonna have to do everything with gloves on.
These are glacier glasses. Hey guys, just so you know, remember we never use textbooks?
We are today. They're in here. We finally have a use for the geography textbook in here.
It's not normal, but I don't like teaching the normal. Kids come into our class. Where are we going this year? It's almost scary to think about it. They don't ask for their locker combinations. They're like, hey, where are you bringing us this year?
And when they come into my classroom, just about the first day, hey, when are we going to start learning about the mountain climbing?
It's not just about climbing. It's not just about geology or geography. It's culture. It's people and who else populate the world. I look for different things to get the kids energized.
This is awesome. Fits like a glove.
Show the kids like, hey, you know, you're not stuck. You're not just living in Waconia. You get to live in Waconia. You get to live in Minnesota. And you can do whatever you want.
To explore, motivate, and educate.
I want to show them, you know, like, life is cool. Like, make what you can, and anything is possible.
It's cool. It's fun. And maybe if you watch this, I can share it with you. So.
Beautiful night, isn't it?
Coming up, the story behind the music at a very special outdoor festival.
It's just the best way to hear some of those songs is out in the open and with maybe a campfire going.
Minnesota Bound, brought to you by Minnesota's select GMC dealers. Connecticut. And by Rapala.
Like industrial excavators, its brake rotors are hardened with a heat-treating process that can double their life. And like the Hoover Dam, its engine makes power when it's needed and conserves fuel when it isn't, making it the most fuel-efficient V8 in a pickup, even beating Ford's EcoBoost V6. So it's only fitting that we'd have the confidence to equip the all-new GMC Sierra with pro-grade protection, the best coverage available on a pickup, including 2 years of scheduled maintenance. That's professional grade.
Up next, a story about a very unusual outdoor festival. It's the kind of festival that'll make your toes tap. Bill Shirk has the story.
Just think about the trout rising to the slightest change in weather.
So we're on the Stony Brook. I would call it a brook.
Chris Cunningham and John Hermanson walk the woods.
And we've spent a lot of time in the outdoors, and we get a lot of inspiration from it for sure.
And if I could, I would write your name on every grain of sand on every shore.
Ooh, one rose over there. Did you hear that?
These two grew up together in Montana. John eventually studied here in Minnesota at St. Olaf College.
Yeah, John went there in '89. I went there in '90.
Even in Minnesota, their love of the woods could not trump their other passion. Chris and John are equal parts of Storyhill, a folk song duo that started back in the college days. And in the band's name, a story.
After trying Chris and Johnny, and then Chris Cunningham, Johnny Hermanson, we tried our full names. That just didn't work.
So Storyhill stuck.
You used to be hers, and she used to be yours, and you saw everything that way.
And the songwriting blossomed.
Connections have faded away.
When I listen to Storyhill, I hear a lot of outdoorsy Montana mountains, and I hear a lot of ex-girlfriend songs as well.
But you don't hear them, and I'm still talking there somewhere in between us.
Oh yeah, a lot of songs that we'll play are songs that we wrote on fishing trips. They're named after various rivers around.
As long as there's still water in the Stillwater River.
And different mountain ranges.
On this day,
come on,
Chris and John explore a local stream in central Minnesota.
There's probably some 10s in there.
Maybe a 10, 9.5.
It's time away from their busy touring schedule.
One of my friends just started a virtual band called the Creek Walkers. I feel like I'm in his band right now.
But today,
He bit.
The fishing only lasts so long. Just up the road in Deerwood, a festival brainstormed by Storyhill.
Storyhill Fest is kind of our chance to, bring a lot of our favorite artists together every year, bring them up to Minnesota.
It's a celebration of original singer-songwriters. Just sort of heartfelt, sincere, weren't cranking out songs just to sell bubblegum,
On Friday afternoon, fans show up. Most choose to camp. It'll run through Sunday.
One year we did 2 festivals, one in Montana and one in Minnesota, and that was just a little too much work.
$3, please.
Now in its 8th year, Storyhill Fest's home is the Clearwater Forest Camp up around the Brainerd Lakes area.
Yes, I wish upon a star. It might fill our dreams with dust.
Artists from Austin, Texas, and from New York City and Nashville want to come up here and be a part of it.
The setting that we bring these artists to is pretty unique because it's pretty small and it's still very intimate. So you can see some pretty great acts that, normally would be playing larger settings.
I believe in lips on ear.
Besides the music, fans get to enjoy Minnesota's woods and water.
We have songwriter workshops where we get John Hermanson from Storyhill to come and work with people. We also have guitar workshops.
It's really casual and family-friendly. It's a nice way to wrap up your summer.
Just don't go to bed too early if you visit.
How are y'all doing tonight? It's a beautiful night, isn't it?
After all, the best music happens after dark.
It's just the best way to hear some of those songs is out in the open and with maybe a campfire going.
Just how Minnesota music was meant to be heard.
I've got a real basic...
Hey, don't head outdoors without these tips from the folks at HCMC. Have a question on outdoor first aid? They have the answers.
Closed captioning is brought to you by the Yard, premier manufacturers of maintenance-free outdoor patio furniture and accessories from recycled plastic.
By the Yard maintenance-free furniture. Comfort, elegance, and recycling combined. Call today for your free catalog or go online to buytheyard.net.
Time now for more outdoor safety advice from HCMC, Hennepin County Medical Center. Joining me, a couple of paramedics, Tom Stepney and Mike Hammerbeck. Guys, it's time to head to the wild for a lot of people. Boundary waters, wilderness trails, hiking, that kind of thing. What should we be carrying to be safe out there?
Well, I'd say one of the best things you can do to prepare yourself is to be familiar with your area.
Absolutely. Carry a map, in other words.
Carry a map, yes. Study it before your trip.
Very sure.
Know your area.
Yeah, and what else have you got there?
I've got a real basic first aid kit. One of the 3 main things I would include in any first aid kit are bandages, Benadryl, and Bacitracin.
Does that cover you for most
Pretty much everything, yeah.
Okay. And I see a water bottle here. What's unique about a water bottle?
Well, water bottle for obvious purposes, carrying water. But also we have it wrapped here with duct tape. Duct tape can come in handy for a lot of different things, and this is just a nice way to carry it.
Yeah, patch a canoe, whatever, huh? Now this item intrigues me. It's called a personal location beacon, huh?
Yeah, this is exactly what you just said, personal location beacon. It can be picked up at any camping goods store, any outdoor store, and in case of an emergency, you just trigger this thing and help is on its way.
And it's not cheap, I understand, but like $250?
About $250 for this model.
But what's it worth for you to be rescued, right?
You'd be glad you had it.
Yeah, right, indeed. What else have you got there? This looks like what?
This is a basic fire starter kit. You never know when a day trip turns into an overnight trip unexpectedly.
Always be prepared to have a fire. And these look like kind of hiking sticks for a short guy.
That's exactly what they are. They're a modern day answer to an age-old problem, and that's a hiking stick. And these are extendable. You can extend to a desired length, and they also double if you get in trouble, break your arm, break a leg, it can double as a splint.
So it could go on there like that?
Absolutely.
And if you don't have this, you could what?
You could use a tree branch.
Yeah, okay. And also, if a bear come up, you can maybe defend yourself here?
Yeah, you might want to extend a little bit first.
Well, I know. If a bear got this close to me, the bear's going to win, I can tell you that. Hey guys, thanks for some great safety advice.
You bet.
Oh, I got it.
Our Minnesota-bound classic follows along with Laura Shera as she chases the elusive muskie. Does she catch one? We'll find out.
Minnesota Bound, brought to you by Hennepin County Medical Center, Minnesota Agricultural Water Resources Coalition, Minnesota soybean farmers and their checkoff.
What are some common misconceptions random people in Minneapolis have about farming today? Let's find out.
I would like to ask farmers if they could go back to the way it was.
To go back to the old days isn't a real valid statement. We might have bigger machines, we might use nutrients, but our carbon footprint per acre and per bushel today is so much less than it was in the 70s or the 50s.
Get to know more about how Minnesota farmers practice responsible, ethical agriculture for life at therealstorymn.com.
I don't know how to explain this, but my daughter Laura got the urge to catch a muskie. It's a very heartbreaking thing. I tried to tell her that, but she insisted and tried anyway, and well, you'll see what happened.
An early August morning on Lake Minnetonka sometimes holds lots of surprises.
Let's do this.
And daughter Laura was casting for exactly that, her first muskie.
It is not my first time, but this is the first time I'm going to catch one, I can tell you that.
She's brought along a secret weapon.
Americano.
Never had.
It's espresso with hot water.
Really?
And then I drink it with a straw so my teeth don't get stained.
Don't get stained.
Okay, so the espresso may not help, but that guy sure will.
As long as the sun doesn't come out, we'll have a lot of action.
That's Travis Frank, a top muskie guide on Lake Minnetonka.
I'll kind of move around with the boat, and I'll just kind of point to where they normally sit. Hopefully they come up. They're kind of ornery some days, but I feel like they'll come up today. But I do know that there's a handful of them probably within casting range of us right now.
It's not long before the muskies get hungry.
I think you've got one following you, Laura.
I do?
Yep.
What do I do?
Just keep reeling. Put your rod tip down in the water. Oh, I got one. Oh, I missed mine. Laura, put your rod tip down. Look at that fish. Oh.
Oh my gosh.
My gosh, I just missed mine. Did you see that?
Yes.
Holy crap.
All
We
right.
almost had a double. Oh my gosh, there's one right there. The thing is like probably 54, 55 inches. Here, fishy, fishy, fishy.
Is that one right there? Down, yes, it is.
Yep.
Oh my Lord, that was huge. I just was like, oh my God, there's a fish just sitting right next to the boat.
Yeah, that's a huge fish.
And just like that, Travis lands the first muskie of the day.
There he is, got him.
Do you need the net?
Yep. Oh. Sweet. He's not a giant, but it's still a muskie.
Oh my gosh, I've never had net duty.
You got
Now what do I do? Yep.
You come over this way, stick the net in the water. Oh. There you go.
Oh,
oh. Okay, keep him in the
oh,
water.
keep him in the water?
Yep,
Sorry.
yep. That's okay. Nice. Just take him out of the water for a quick second and brace him. Just like that.
Am
It's
I
a
supposed to-
muskie.
Oh my gosh. How long is this, do you think?
Oh, this one's a little guy. It's probably only 36, 37 inches.
Wow.
Yeah.
The teeth, though, I mean, that is unbelievable. I've not seen teeth like that.
Yeah. It's got some big old teeth on him.
That's one for Travis. Now it's Laura's turn.
Oh,
I got it.
You got him? You got him? Good.
Yeah.
Keep running. You got a great
Oh
guard.
my God.
Got a great guard
Seriously,
on
you're...
it. Try to get the rod tip
Oh,
down.
down?
Yeah.
I think it's just a little one.
It's
but,
a little guy. It's a northern, yeah.
You know, oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh.
It sure attacked pretty good, though.
Yeah, it did. There he is.
Uh-oh, a pike is not a muskie. Try again.
What we thought was a muskie was not.
Later that afternoon.
See this big fish right here?
Where?
Right in front of us.
Oh my God. Oh, sorry.
Is it gone?
Yeah.
Where'd it go?
It shut that way. I think I scared it.
Fish? Oh, get ready, get ready, get ready. Oh my God, that's huge. Eat it. Take him, take him. Oh!
Oh my God,
Oh my
I'm
God.
sorry.
Oh.
You said take him!
Yeah, it was right. That thing was 55
are you
inches.
okay, first of all?
Oh my gosh.
Darn it!
Oh, that thing was enormous. Did you see him come off the tree,
Yes!
grab it?
I waited. I thought I was patient this time.
Yeah, you were. You did. Did you see his mouth just kind of...
Yes! How did I miss it?
I don't know. I have no idea. Oh my gosh, that thing was huge. That was like 54, 55 inches probably.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm. Okay, try it. Go cast again. Oh my God.
So, just like that, the muskies go silent. And Laura, well, she'll have to wait another day for muskie number 1.
That's why they call it 10,000 casts, I guess.
Well, she's still trying to catch that muskie, but I have a feeling she's not quitting. That about does it for us. Remember, introduce a kid to the great outdoors. Take a muskie fishing. I'm Ron Sharon, of course, the star of the show always is Raven. Ignoring me?
Transportation provided by Premier Transportation. Call 1-800-899-7433. For more information on these stories and more, catch us on the web at mnbound.com.